All right, BD, our next question from Reddit Advice comes to us from Mellow Person. Uninvited to the wedding.
I think that's fine, by the way. I don't like weddings. Anyway, go ahead.
Free food. Maybe free booze.
It may not be free. Sometimes these things... Anyway.
Yeah, sure. Okay, anyhow. Okay, so my friend of 4 to 5 years made me a bridesmaid. She invited all the bridesmaids to a get-together. I came in late because I went to the wrong location and I live far. We were supposed to wear dresses, but I'm currently unemployed and couldn't afford it. I wore casual clothes. Her other bridesmaids were rude to me the moment I came into the location because I was late. After feeling like I was not welcome, I told the bride I was leaving early. She proceeded to yell at me for 5 minutes straight in front of the other bridesmaids. I didn't say anything and just proceeded to stay instead of leaving early. Later on, I realized she had unfollowed me from all social media. I think our friendship is over. What should I do? Should I let it go or talk to her?
Well, so I don't know how many weddings you've been to, but women, it's kind of a big deal.
It is kind of a big deal.
So you coming in late, he said, I went to the wrong location and I live far. Well, you were late because you went to the wrong location.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe not because you live far. You didn't get there early enough. That is on you, right? You're supposed to wear dresses, but you're currently unemployed and couldn't afford it. I don't know if you told her that or not, or you just showed up, to tell her the situation. And so her other bridesmaids were rude to me. Don't know how they were rude to you because you were late, but, it's her day. It's her, probably her process. Right?
Yes.
Because some of this is a process. So they might have been a little rude because you were late and took attention away. Then you basically said, I'm leaving early because I don't feel welcome. So that's, again, about how you feel, not about supporting your friend. Then she's yelling at you because you're taking attention away from her time and her moment, getting married. Hopefully the first time and not like the 8th time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you didn't say anything. You stayed instead of leaving, but you didn't say anything, which seems weird that you get yelled at and then you just stay. And then she's unfollowed you. So I do think your friendship is over. And I think you should let it go because you didn't actually care enough at the time to do what you needed to do to save that relationship. So why do it now? Why go talk to her now when you weren't willing to do it any of the other moments? Tell her that you couldn't afford the dress. Was she okay with that? Make sure you were on time. So being late's not a big deal, but we don't know how late. What if you were super late? I mean, did you call and say, hey, I'm trying to get there?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it is her day. It's her moment. She's trying to include you because she wanted you to be part of it. And in this first effort, it didn't go well. Her other bridesmaid might have been rude to you because maybe, the bride was upset and they were funneling her frustration. I don't know. But she was clearly upset because she was yelling at you for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it just seems like, I don't know if your friendship was great to begin with, but it certainly broke here. And I don't think you need to do anything else. You don't seem all that broken up about it. I'd just let it go and move on.
I think what I would say, because what is not in here is if this bride asked her not to be a bridesmaid. So for me, I would at least have, one more.
She unfollowed her on all socials.
Well, yeah, I get that, but
which seems kind of extreme.
It does, yeah,
like
and
that's,
childish.
I'm cutting all ties with you. Then,
yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, I see why you would just just let it go.
Well, and if you're unemployed and you can't afford it, can you afford a dress for the wedding anyway? Because if the answer is no, then you weren't going to wear casual clothes to the wedding either, I assume. So it just seems like this was not the best friendship in general. Because if it was a good friendship, you could have talked to her about it ahead of time and kind of had an understanding and supported in different ways if you couldn't afford it. Or if she really wanted you into it, maybe she would have helped pay for the dress or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that just this incident would have her unfollow you on all social, that's
extreme.
I feel like this was not as strong as a friendship as it might have felt like. You know, and so I don't think it's a huge loss. You weren't that into it. She got really upset and severed right away. There wasn't any conversation from her side either. It doesn't sound like this is something you really need to salvage, is my opinion. Maybe learn from it, because you did do some wrong things here and you could have done better, but you also didn't do anything that deserved the kind of response you got.
No.
So that's why I say it's probably not worth even trying to salvage this. Just move on.
That was pretty rude of her, like, to yell at her for 5 minutes in front of everybody.
Some women are very unreasonable when it comes to their wedding.
That is true.
So I understand where that might have come from, but yes, it's not reasonable. But sometimes weddings make women unreasonable.
I've seen some ugly wedding stuff. So
too much focus is spent on weddings. By the way, it is literally
too
one
much
day.
Money is
it's one day. It doesn't matter. Oh, the rest of that relationship matters far more. And if you're not putting the kind of effort into that part, you're going to be on your next wedding pretty soon. So mellow, I'd stay mellow on this one and let it go. That's what I'd do.
I can agree with that.
All right. I think we'll leave it there. If anyone has additional advice for Mello, please post in the comments down below. And we thank Mello for the question.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video.
And we appreciate that. If you need advice, go ahead and click on the link in the description below, and it may get answered in a later episode.
And if you want to watch more Twice the Advice, check out our other videos right now.